I don't care. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the latest Dark Side of the Ring episode. It features Luna Vachon. We are also going to talk about Impact Bound for Glory. I'm going to see what's up with that. We're going to go Wrestling Week Review. I'm going to do a little rant on the women's division. Wrestling Week Review. I'm going to, at the end of the show, before I end the show, I'm going to update my streaming schedule of my plans for my schedule for streams and stuff. My plans. I know they change. And we got some news today. Some wrestling news. Carrying Cross rumors. A Raw Retro review. Not a Raw Retro, a Raw Retro show. Possibly happen next year. And so on and so on. Right? Okay, so as you saw my thumbnail, yeah, that's not a creative thumbnail. I have a thumbnails for future streams created already, so don't worry about that. But I think first things first. We're going to talk about Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel. Is he here? And as you know, Crown Jewel is this Thursday at noon Eastern Time. So I'm gonna try to set up a live watch along for that. I might be difficult for that one because it depends how I feel at noon. But yeah, so we're gonna go through all the matches, and I'm gonna give you my predictions. So, but first I want to get out of this way, okay? Before I start, I'm going through the matches. So I don't have Queen Crowns or King of the Rings finals here until tonight. Obviously this show is before Raw, and the final semifinals to meet at the finals on Thursday is tonight. On the men's side, we've got Jinder Mahal versus Xavier Woods for the finals of King of the Rings to face Finn Balor. And on the women's side, we got Shayna Baszler and Doudrop. And so obviously I don't have prediction for Crown Jewel because we don't know who the finals are. Now I do predict it's gonna be Shayna Baszler, and when we know Shayna Baszler is gonna be on the Raw side, I do think so, and also I do think it's gonna be Jinder Mahal on the Raw side. I'm sorry, Xavier Woods stands. You know, I know he's been the one wanting this, and everybody wants him to win. But I think with Finn Balor there, I'm sorry, but it has to be Xavier Woods not being in the finals. It has to be Jinder Mahal. It has to be Finn Balor winning King of the Ring because the guy was just in a title match with Roman Reigns. And yeah, that ending with the rope snapping was kind of stupid. Was really, really stupid. Still, Finn Balor was in the title picture. But yeah, so I got Shayna Baszler and Jinder Mahal representing Raw for King of the Ring and Queen's tournament, and I got Shayna Baszler winning the Queen's tournament and Finn Balor winning the King of the Ring at Crown Jewel. But let's go into the first matches, guys. Some of the first matches. I'm gonna go on with this. Okay, this match. Look. This is a team of Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. You know they've been teaming for a while, right? Teaming for a while. And then last week, after a frustration loss, Mustafa Ali took his frustrations on Mansoor. And now they're gonna face each other at Crown Jewel. Now, obviously this match would have been a Raw match, but since it's in Crown Jewel and you know Mansoor is bigger than life in Saudi Arabia, and he's treated like a Hulk Hogan, a hometown hero. Of course, you're gonna have this match at the event. The event. If it wasn't in Crown Jewel wasn't probably up, this match would have been a Raw match. This would have been a Raw match. But since it's a Crown Jewel and Mansoor, yeah, is bigger than life in where he's from, of course, you're going to treat him like Hulk Hogan. Now, in the past, Mansoor has been treated, but in bigger matches. This is a big match from the singles match. Mustafa Ali is not exactly like. I think he's underrated, not used. I don't think Mustafa Ali's been used well, right? And we'll see what Mansoor is, but obviously. My prediction here is a no-brainer here. It's there's no other choice, but Mansoor is gonna get the win here in his hometown, like Josh said here. It's just way too obvious. As if you know from past shows when Mansoor's been on, Mansoor is always gonna win. He's never gonna lose, and every time they go to Saudi Arabia for these special shows. Special so-called pay-per-views. Mansoor is never gonna lose. He's gonna win everything he's gonna be in. It's just if you haven't figured that by now, I don't know what you've been watching. It's just plain obvious. And yeah, so Mansoor is gonna get the win here, guys. It's quite. Hey Nate and hey Josh, yeah, it's quite obvious. Okay, so. Next. Where should I go with next? I think I'll do title matches after. Okay? So. Because I feel the points of title matches are more important than the regular matches. So I guess. I'm going to go with the Hell in a Cell match. Yeah, let's go with the Hell in a Cell match. Yes, I know this is not a title match, and this is a very important match because I really love the story between these two. But since this is a Hell in a Cell match, well, it's been confirmed as a Hell in a Cell match. And the last Hell in a Cell match Seth Rollins has been in was with the Fiend. Was one of the worst matches, definitely the last decade, maybe the last 2 decades, one of the worst matches. So you could, Seth Rollins is on interview on Broken Skull session. He pretty much said what he had to say about that, how frustrated it was, and how that's the last time he's been in Hell in a Cell. Him in Hell in a Cell. There's been Hell in a Cell matches, but this is the last time he's been in Hell in a Cell. Now. I really do like the story. I really do like the direction of Seth Rollins. This heel Seth Rollins, not the Messiah Seth Rollins. I really do like this Seth Rollins. Is embracing more of the cockiness side of him. Like Roman Reigns is cocky, so is Seth Rollins, but Roman Reigns is cocky. It's more like I'm just gonna beat you. I'm better than you. You've done nothing. Like more of a that kind of cockiness. It's different. That's why he's ahead of the table. Where Seth Rollins is like more of like, if I compare it to a Batman villain, he's not like, he's doesn't have the face paint. He's not as crazy, but he's more like a little bit of the Joker. There's a little bit of a Joker in him, little bit of the Joker. Not okay. I'm not. Yes, I made. Yeah, it's crazy confident. That's a good word. That's great. There's a little bit of Joker in him with the laugh, with the stuff he says, and there's a little bit of Joker in him. Little bit. Roman Reigns is more of a, not that kind, more of a mafia type villain, you know? Or like a Tony Soprano type head. Or Seth could be Two-Face. And yeah, okay. I really do like Seth's wardrobes, his suits. I mean, he's very creative. And he did on Raw get the SmackDown. He did get the Harley Quinn chant because his suit was red and black. And at one point, Harley Quinn's his red and black, Harley Quinn's original costume, when she was introduced in Batman animated series. Remember, Harley Quinn was not in the comics until after the animated series. She was introduced in that series. She was red and black, right? And she had that costume. He had that costume or suit. And there's been suits in the past where he has a kind of the Joker-like colors. And I don't know where he gets his suits from, but they're damn creative. It's damn. Thank you, Rupert Thornton. Yeah, that's a good one. It's damn creative. But I want to know who is his I want to know who designs the suits for Seth. But you know what? I know Josh says he's got Seth losing here and Edge losing and Edge winning. Also, so I was really gonna say, tell me you got predictions. Even you, Nate, put in predictions if you want. But this one I had to go 50-50 on because I just saw this match as more than most of the 50-50. I'm going to go with Edge and the nail biter over Seth Rollins. And then they're going to move on. They're both on Raw. They're both drafted Raw. Remember, the draft takes effect this Friday. So officially the new members of SmackDown and the new members of Raw will be on the rosters. Officially this Friday. SmackDown this Friday and Raw next Monday. And Seth and Edge have been moved to Raw. I think they're done. But I wouldn't be surprised if Edge and Seth is on the same team for Survivor Series. But I got Edge winning here, but it's going to be a brutal match. Well, maybe a brutal match. These shows at Saudi Arabia are kind of like, to me, I'm going to be honest, they treat him, they promo it like a WrestleMania. But to me, it's a very good match card. I'll give you that. To me, they're glorified house shows. With special attractions. That's it. That's what these shows are. It's glorified house shows, but with special attractions. That's it. So let's move on. What else is there? And I'm gonna put my ticker down below, guys. Okay, another non-title match. This match. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. Now, this match is to me, it's very interesting. Look, Goldberg has not won a match since being a Fiend in February 2022 for the Universal title. That's his last time he won a match. He's lost to Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and technically Bobby Lashley. That's the last 3 losses. And it got really personal at SummerSlam when Goldberg's son came in the ring and Bobby Lashley claimed he didn't know it was his son, right? He put him in a hurt lock. And then it got really personal. No, Bobby Lashley was champion. That's what it is, yeah. Yeah, right. Now, Bobby Lashley this time was champion, right? That match was at SummerSlam was for the title. But Big E cashed in the Money in the Bank, become champion about maybe a month ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago, and became champion. Now, if this was a title match at Crown Jewel, I would pick Bobby Lashley to win. But since he doesn't have a title, and since Goldberg hasn't won lately, like I mentioned just before, like this last 3 matches, he's been losing. He lost. Goldberg's gonna get the win here, and everybody I've been talking to, or on Twitter, whatever, or on prediction shows, and like Josh here says, he's going over. I'll be shocked if Lashley wins here. I do think Goldberg's gonna win here. I do not see any other way. Goldberg is gonna get the win here over Lashley. If Lashley still had a title, I think Lashley would win. But since he doesn't have a title, Goldberg's going over here and he's gonna get in the win. It's just obvious right now. The title thing just changed everything. That changed the whole prediction. My prediction, at least. Yeah, that's true. It's true. That's true. They really do like their. Okay, since I think that's the last non-title match, right? We're gonna move on to the Raw Tag Team titles. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton, the defender titles against AJ Styles and Osmos, right? Or whatever. I keep forgetting to pronounce his name, whatever. So this is a rematch from SummerSlam when RK Bro defeated AJ and his tag team partner for the titles. And this is one of the best acts on Raw. RK Bro is one of the best acts on Raw. You can't deny it. Whether Raw has been bad or good. Last week's Raw has been terrible. But whether it's been bad or good, RK Bro has been one of the bright spots. Now, at the draft, there was talk about breaking up the team of Styles and Osmos. Sorry about that. So I got RK Bro to retain here and over Styles and Osmos. And yeah, that's basically it. They're going to keep the tag team titles and move on. I have nothing else to say, but it's just been one of the best acts. We all know eventually it's one of them. Most likely Randy Orton's going to turn on Riddle when they lose the tag team titles, and they're going to have a match at a pay-per-view. I think it's destined. That's just wrestling 101 right there. Okay. Next, we're going to have the WWE Championship versus WWE Championship match between the WWE Champion Big E versus Drew McIntyre. Title changes never happen in Saudi. You're right. So we're going to have this match. So I'm really looking for this match. It's gonna be a good match. I really do like the storyline they're heading here. Like they seem to cannot get along with each other, especially in the match against the Usos, right? They're not right because they're gonna face each other, right? I really do like it. I'm seeing where it goes from here. On Raw, they're probably gonna beat the living shit out of each other. Two big men beating the crap out of each other, but since Drew's been drafted to SmackDown and Big E's been drafted to Raw, even though title changes never happen on these Saudi shows, it's just once again, this match could be good. It could be a good match, but once again, the outcome. Yes, wrestling. We know the outcome. We know the wrestling outcomes, right? We know it's predetermined. But if you really look at it, Drew's been drafted to SmackDown, and it's quite. And Big E's on Raw, but after the Raw, the WWE champion. There's no way Drew's winning here because he's on SmackDown. So Big E's retaining the title. And I feel bad for Roman on SmackDown because Raw took a lot of the top stars from SmackDown. Tons of top stars from SmackDown. Leaving SmackDown with barely any top stars. And Drew McIntyre is one of the top stars from Raw. But there's a lot of people on SmackDown that I have trouble seeing Roman in the face in the future. And Drew McIntyre is only one, and he's beaten Drew McIntyre multiple times. Like last year, Survivor Series, WrestleMania 2019, the tag team match we teamed with Shane McMahon against Taker and Roman. Remember that? That was 2019. But yeah, Drew's gonna win here. And right now, if I had to say my most logical choice, as of right now, WrestleMania, if it's not Brock and Roman again, I think right now, I'm just saying right now in October, things change. It's not even been talked about whether you can see WrestleMania. Drew and Roman could possibly be the WrestleMania match next year. This right now. But so yeah, Big E retains here. And Big E is going to go on to, there's a lot of guys on the Raw roster that Big E can have title matches with. You can still Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Styles, Randy Orton, Keith Lee. I don't know. I can name a lot, and SmackDown really doesn't have that. Oh, that's thanks, Throwback. Good to see you here. Now, let's get to the Women's Triple Threat match, the SmackDown Women's Triple Threat match. Becky Lynch, the reigning Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Now, if you haven't heard, if you're not aware, Bianca Belair has a match with Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's title tonight. Now, if she wins this match to become Raw Women's Champion, that definitely changes everything on this whole show. Right? So we know Becky and Bianca Belair got drafted to Raw, right? Got drafted to Raw. And Sasha's been drafted to SmackDown. Now, this is another obvious thing. I hope they do a swerve, but I don't think so. That SmackDown, I think Sasha Banks is being heavily underlooked here, like not underestimated here. I am too. So I'm going with Sasha the winner because she's on SmackDown. She'll take the SmackDown Championship to keep it on SmackDown. And if it's true, and Charlotte's going to SmackDown too. So if Bianca versus Charlotte tonight on Raw, I would not be surprised if we get a title change tonight. They're to put the Raw Women's title on Bianca. But if that's the case, this match aside, they could change it for both titles on the line. So I don't know. I would not be surprised, but I would not be surprised if she loses because Charlotte Flair does have to lose, right? I mean, she's the Raw Women's Champion. We don't want to see titles being traded with each other. I don't want to see if Sasha Banks wins and Charlotte Flair retains. I don't want to see Sasha Banks handing the title, the SmackDown Women's title, to Charlotte. That's true, Josh. I'm just thinking it's possibly that's true. That's true too. I'm just thinking possible. There's two ways they could do that or they could not do that. But I just don't want them to trade titles, right? So, and I think what's going to happen here is Bianca and Becky are going to continue feuding on Raw. Here's the thing. We got Survivor Series. I think they'll team up with Survivor, unless they want to do title versus, no, we might want to do title versus title, right? A Survivor Series. So if if Bianca Belair becomes Raw Women's Champion, and whoever SmackDown Champion at the time, we'll have that. Hopefully they do have title versus title, and then we'll have the women's Raw and SmackDown. Same with the men. But so I think it's a good chance Bianca becomes Raw Women's Champion, and like Josh says, may not defend at Saudi Arabia show, and I think Sasha Banks wins at the Saudi Arabia show. So I got Sasha Banks retaining at the SmackDown Championship. Look. Now we got the main event. The Universal Championship between the Tribal Chief and the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Now, yeah, they wrestled many times a lot. They wrestled a lot of times. WrestleMania twice. SummerSlam. It was the first Saudi Arabia show they wrestled. In a controversial finish with the cage, I think. That's the first match in Saudi Arabia. So the whole thing about the storyline is about Roman's trust in Paul Heyman. Can he trust Paul Heyman, right? If he's loyal to the Tribal Chief or loyal to Brock Lesnar, based on the ending of SmackDown, that just puts some more paranoia into Roman Reigns about his trust of Paul Heyman, right? So Roman Reigns is paranoid with Paul Heyman, with his loyalty, who's he's loyal to, right? But I don't think he has to be paranoid after this. I do think Roman Reigns retains and Heyman proves his loyalty to Roman Reigns and sides with Roman Reigns, because the talk is Brock Lesnar might be disappearing after. And I know in the past Brock Lesnar, as it has a title, and when he has a title, has been disappearing in the past, but I don't think this is happening. I think Roman Reigns is winning here, retaining the title over Brock Lesnar, with shenanigans from Paul Heyman showing his loyalty to Roman Reigns. Yeah, and so I got that. I pretty much agree with Josh here. Roman Reigns is retaining. And they're going to continue this, because that's what they're all saying. Whether it's a WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, whatever. But, and remember, this show starts at Eastern Time, where I am, at noon, right? And more things can be added to the show. Yeah, that's exactly. Thank you. That's what he's trying to do. Put doubt in Roman Reigns' mind about Heyman. Yeah, and he's doing very well. Like, exactly my point. That's just what I'm trying to say here. To see who if he's just trying to play around with Roman and see play mind games with Roman. And Brock. Brock's usually not the kind of person you think we play mind games, right? But he's very good. He is doing a very good job at it, if they do it right. Brock is just more of a. We've seen at times Brock is just more of a big muscle guy bully out there. Just there to beat people up. He actually has. He's actually a very good. He's a very good talker when he's short and sweet on the mic. He's very good, and he actually could laugh. Yes. I think he's very underrated in terms of a performer, not just based on wrestling, but as a character, not just a big muscle meathead, He's more than just that. But and I think that's my Saudi Arabia prediction show. It's a good show. I mean, not a good show. It's a good. I guess I try to be excited, right? I like competition. No, Josh, I do like competition because it drives people to do better, right? Competition drives people to do better. And look, Tony Khan's talking out of his ass right now. He has to be careful. Because when Bischoff did that, it worked for a little bit. And then it got to a point when Bischoff, WCW, like for example, it got to a point where the Mankind stuff, winning the title, people turned away from. That was the Finger Point of Doom show night, right? Same day, same Monday, I believe. They turned away from that and they saw the Mankind stuff, becoming champion. You gotta be careful. Tony Khan has to be careful. Look, AEW is a good show. Like, it's a good show. A lot of fans love it. Doesn't. But Tony Khan just has to be very, very careful. AEW is not there yet. It's not there yet. They have to get to a point where they have more constant watching it to get more casuals. I know there's a lot of casuals coming back to wrestling because of AEW. It's a fact. But WWE still has the overwhelming of the audience. And once AEW gets more buzz around among the casuals, like it's been getting lately, CM Punk for sure. CM Punk, his comeback has definitely got back some of the casuals like Enosh. It's just not there yet. It's, if I would say it, somebody said on that clip you showed me, it's like 96 WCW. No. It's more like 95 WCW right now. It's getting there. It's slowly getting there. The only time you will know it's catch up to WWE. Exactly. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I think AEW is like it's gonna be eventually WCW to WWE. It is. Eventually we'll get there. But it's only been a 2-year company. You gotta be careful, man. Tony Khan has to be careful. Vince McMahon's been in his business a long time. And yes, people are saying he's out of touch. But Vince McMahon, I'm just saying he's been in his business a long time. Do not be careful because you might eat your words with Vince McMahon. WCW is close to driving WWE out of business. Just be careful. Just be careful. And Tony Khan sounds more like a mark than a promoter at times, you know? And Bischoff, I admit, in WCW did sound like a mark too because he really wanted to drive WWE out of business and stuff. He didn't care about the wrestling world at the time. Yes. See, this is my point. If they're going to go compete with AEW, if AEW wants to compete with WWE, and it gets to a point, and they're going to have to compete with Monday Night Raw. And, right? And I'll tell you, right? And here's, definitely that's their main show, right? And then we got Rampage. Rampage is at 10 to 11. And it doesn't get a lot of people watching, despite who you have on the show. It doesn't get a lot of people watching. Rampage will eventually have to be a 2-hour show at not a Friday because of SmackDown, and definitely not at 10 o'clock. They will have to move that night, Rampage, if they want to compete. Because they're not gonna. If they want to compete, Rampage is not gonna on Friday nights at 10 o'clock. It's not gonna help them compete. I know he is. The Cons should be worried about the Jaguars, you know? Really. One win and they celebrate. One win because they lost like 20 in a row and they would celebrate a win. Fuck, man. And Jacksonville, I'll tell you this. Florida's a football state. Jacksonville is the worst and pro football team in among fan support. Jacksonville has the lowest, and I don't even think they sell out crowds at Jacksonville. Oh man, that's gonna be a mistake, man. If they go 3 hours, that's gonna be a mistake. Cause a 2-hour SmackDown is a good show. I mean, I think Raw might do better to go 2 hours, but who knows? Like WCW, Nitro started. WCW Nitro was an hour show, right? It then became a 2-hour show, and then Nitro became a 3-hour show. Yeah, Jacksonville is good. I mean, they get nobody to the football games. Let's move on, guys. So we're gonna watch. We're gonna talk about Dark Side of the Ring, Luna Vachon. Hey, Anchorman, how you doing? Doing good? We're gonna launch. Oh, Destroy Rampage because it's on the Fox. This is FS1. But let's talk about Luna Vachon. Now this is a very interesting documentary. Luna Vachon. I remember Luna Vachon when she was in WWE mostly, of course, when she was managing Bigelow, and then she came back in '98 to feud with Sable, and then joined the Oddities. You going alright, man? That's good, Anchorman. That's good. Feud with the Oddities. The team up with the Oddities. Man, this woman has gone through a lot. She had mental. I think she was diagnosed with bipolar, but she was adopted into the Vachon family. It's tragic how her father died. No, there wasn't. Yeah, last 3 weeks there's been no 2 cents of nonsense. And obviously, when she got adopted by the Vachon family, she got into wrestling, right? Unfortunately, she went to Moolah School, who is the only known school in the wrestling world to trade women. And if you know Fabulous Moolah School and you know Fabulous Moolah, you know Fabulous Moolah is a piece of shit human being. If you know her. And yeah, let's talk to the woman who trained under her. Exactly, Josh. And Luna was a good wrestler. She was. And there wasn't a lot of women wrestling at the time. WWE had women wrestling, but they weren't featured as much. But she didn't go to... She went to... I forget what the... Durf Lunga. What about... Durf Lunga. Oh, he was on... yesterday's Mad Max's show. I was talking with him. Luna went to... I forget what company it was, but it had Kevin Sullivan. She was... she billed as a reporter. And she got decked by Sullivan. And then... She turned to Kevin Sullivan's cult-like, demon-like faction. You know, Kevin Sullivan. Darth Lunga's not here. He was... Oh, Darth Lunga... Oh, he was on Max's stream last night. I was on Max's stream with him last night. That's where it was. And she was actually a very good wrestler. Then she went to she went to another company, I think it was, where she met Gangrel, David Heath, right? She also had a son. I think she had a daughter too, if I'm correct. And she got married to David Heath, Gangrel. And their goal was to make it WWE, right? Well, she did drugs too. She did a lot of drugs too, but and that's one of the reasons for her downfall. Their goal was to make it WWE. They only Vachon, Luna Vachon got hired by WWE. It wasn't a member stream. No, last night it was not a member stream. Got hired by WWE, but Gangrel didn't. Why do you think he's angry? By WWE, and she debuted at WrestleMania 9. Yeah, they didn't mention Gangrel's son. Yeah, WrestleMania 9 for Shawn Michaels, and she bodyslammed Sherry Martel at that event, and then she feuded with Sherry Martel for a little while underneath me, and she joined up with Bam Bigelow, and she had issues. She had backstage disputes, tantrums and stuff. She was very passionate about wrestling too. She's very passionate, and she didn't like how women were being used. They had Medusa on the documentary too, and she didn't like how the women were being used. And Medusa offered to drop the title to Luna, and Luna said no, and she got fired from WWE because of her issues. And then she went to ECW, and they let her wrestle in ECW. She had a match with a cage match with Stevie Richards, and she was actually a very good wrestler, right? And for a little while, she was there with Mick Foley at the time, was in ECW, and Mick Foley and Luna they got along very well. She she got along well with the locker room very well. She was well liked in the locker room, but I felt like she felt like she was underappreciated, and we'll get to that why. And then she was in WCW for a little bit, but they didn't talk about that. She was there for like a couple appearances, but they didn't mention that. Yeah, they did use Medusa's real name. And then she came back to WWE, the feud of Sable, and this is where she really felt underappreciated. Miss Sable. And look, Sable was one of the hottest things in the Attitude Era. There's no question about it. No John Cena tonight. She was one of the hottest things about Attitude Era. She got people talking and watching Raw. But let's face it, she had no talent besides looking good, looking sexy. And no disrespect for the women out there, you models, whatever. Okay, no disrespect, but to me in the wrestling world, you could look sexy, and that sells. It does. But if you're in a match, I'm sorry, but you have to not be afraid to get hit or bruises or whatever. And we were talking about the WrestleMania match, right? WrestleMania match where Luna was told by officials not to bruise her or anything, get like a mark on Sable's skin, and otherwise she'd be fired. So Luna takes a powerbomb and a TKO, right? She wins. She loses. Sable wins, and a lot of people in the back. Okay, she's Brock Lesnar's wife. A lot of people in the back did not really like Sable. I know they praised her, but you want people's true feelings on Sable? They did not like Sable. A lot of people did not like Sable because she was arrogant and stuff. Apparently, she was like, "Hey Saggy," did not like Sable. So Luna was coming back, and she and they were clapping. People were praising. She always thought it was for her, and then Sable comes back, and she realizes for Sable. And Sable's a terrible wrestler. Look, she was bad, terrible. And Sable only got over for her looks. Okay, I understand wrestling does sell, but when you're in a match, whether woman or man, I don't care how you look, you should not be afraid to get bruised or whatever. Or get hit. Thanks, Saggy. It's coming up, actually. This is not my rant, but it's coming up. And this heart broke Luna Vachon. And, because she was so passionate about wrestling. And nobody really consoled her except Owen Hart. Owen Hart, such a good guy. Whoever talks about Owen Hart, it's tragic how he passed away, but nobody could say a bad thing about Owen Hart. And eventually she was let go. She retired wrestling. I think that really broke her heart. She had issues backstage. Definitely with Sable. She had issues with Sable because in a shoot interview, what she said about Sable was kind of true. She said Luna Vachon was going through the training of becoming a wrestler, how this is a dream, how she had to go through school, how she had all the hard knocks and all that stuff, how to go through school. The wrestling training, and wrestling training is it's like boot camp. If you ask some wrestlers, it's like boot camp, and how she had to struggle to get where she is, and where Sable really didn't have to struggle to get where she is on top in the Attitude Era, where her looks got her by, and that really pissed off Luna Vachon, and I understand why. I know it's a business, wrestling it's an entertainment show, but I don't know, Anchorman. And Luna Vachon had mental illness, and she retired from wrestling. Fortunately, she later years, her house was burned down. She lost everything, and I think that really hurt her. Yeah, she did. Yes, Josh, you're exactly right. That's all she wanted to do. She just wanted to be acknowledged. Yeah, exactly. And she broke up with David Heath, that's his name. Gangrel, because she was doing drugs and it was too much for him, And if he didn't leave, he would have had the same. He probably would have been dead too because he was doing them too. If he didn't leave her, he had to I understand he had to do it for his own safety. He probably would have been dead too. But her house burned down, I think in 2010, 2009. She had to live with her mother. Dave Heath, yes. Mick Foley tried to get into Impact Wrestling, right, to TNA. She rejected it, and then a few weeks later, she passed away. Overdose, I think it was an overdose. And I'll just say this is a tragic story about Luna Vachon. All she wanted to be was acknowledged for her hard work getting into the wrestling business because she struggled with illness, yes, but she struggled with being not just a wrestler, but a mom too, because it affected her career as a mom, especially when she had when she was trying to rise to get to WWE. Because it's not hard. Look, it's not hard. Now, like wrestlers, in the WWE and AEW, they can see they have people that can look out for the kids. But back then, when you're trying to get into the WWE, it's a struggle in independence, right, with kids. Yeah, that's true. That's a good question. Early 90s, when I saw like Hogan, Warrior, and the games helped Macho Man, those guys. But I did like the 80s too, like everybody, if you didn't watch wrestling, there's only one guy everybody knew, and that's Hulk Hogan. And it was all she wanted to be acknowledged. Especially, I think what happened, that thing with WrestleMania really hurt her back. Her broke her heart. Kind of like what happened to Cannon when his idol Ric Flair told him you were just not good and Sting, yeah, Sting, and Ric Flair told him, Cannon, you're just not that good, bro. You're just not that good in the ring, which is bullshit because Cannon was amazing in the ring. And that broke his heart too. And Cannon, like Luna Vachon, had issues, and led to suicide. And Ric Flair was his idol. But yeah, that's enough about Luna Vachon. Okay, women's division rant. All right. I'll tell you about my women's division rant. It's not anything against the women or anything. It's against or it's actually pro woman. WWE. My issue is SmackDown women's division. And my issue is how the Queen's Crown tournament is being portrayed. Now, the first 4 matches of Queen's Crown tournament have been short, right? Very short. I think they've been combined like 9-10 minutes. Now, a lot of people were shitting on the Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooke here. The only time I disagree with a lot of people is Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooke. Look, no disrespect to Dana Brooke, okay? But, and yes, there's not a lot of women in WWE, but in wrestling, there's a status called jobbers. Jobbers turning Tegan Knox heel. I can't picture as a heel, but jobbers, right? There's a jobber's a term for a wrestler who's just there to make the other wrestler look good, to build up superstars. They lose all the time. That's what Dana Brooke is. And Shayna Baszler, now they're finally doing a good job with Shayna Baszler, making her the dominant force she was in NXT, because for a year and a half, she's been not like that on the main roster. And if you watch her NXT days, she was a dominant champion for what, like a year and a half down there, beating everybody. She was that dominant. On the main roster, it wasn't like that. It took a dominant babyface like Rhea Ripley to dethrone Shayna Baszler. And look how they're training Rhea Ripley. I feel sorry for her losing her gear, and she lost one half of the Raw Women's title too, tag team titles, and we're gonna get on that too. But I disagree with people with Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke was never gonna win. A minute match, who cares? Would Shayna Baszler care? Okay. Carmella versus Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan was supposed to win that match. Maybe that match could have got 5 or 6 minutes, right? Okay, I agree there. I agree that could have gone longer. What was the next one? Zelina versus Toni Storm. Here's my issue. Toni Storm. I know a lot of people don't like Toni Storm. I don't know, Josh. You're not fond of her. But Toni Storm was huge. Was very popular in Mae Young Classic. NXT UK. And she wasn't used well in NXT US. like very well. I think she should be the main roster. But a lot of people really do like Toni Storm. And they just had her lose like in a minute to Zelina Vega. I think what the finals should have been, if I had this right, Toni Storm versus Shayna Baszler, because it could have got any of them over. That's my finals would have been that. But I understand why they probably want to put Shayna Baszler in the finals. But to have Toni Storm lose like that quickly to Zelina Vega, it hurts her. It hurts her. Right? I'm not hard on Carmella. I know she did. I'll give her that. This is more about WWE Creative. I'm not her. This is not on Carmella. It's more about WWE Creative. Okay. Okay. I mean, I think Toni Storm got shafted, right? I mean, and Zelina Vega. I'm sorry, but Zelina Vega. Probably. I don't think so. Toni Storm and Shayna, not Toni Storm, because Toni Storm has a track record, right? She'll probably beat Shayna. Shayna probably would beat her, but maybe it's to protect Toni Storm too, because if the final is having Shayna in there, I don't know, but Zelina Vega is gonna be in the finals, and if Shayna wins, and there's people are suggesting that Naomi's gonna cost Shayna Baszler the match against Doudrop tonight, And that's a possibility, because on SmackDown, what happened on SmackDown with the Naomi and Sonya Deville thing, right? But if Shayna does win, she's gonna destroy Zelina Vega this Thursday, and that's good. Make Shayna Baszler just dominate, have her win the Queen's Tournament, make her just dominant heel on SmackDown. I'm all for that, but I don't understand why the people are shitting on her for beating Dana Brooke, right? Because of women's division. Because the women's division's first 4 matches are like 4 minutes. And Doudrop beat Natalya. And Doudrop versus Natalya was like a 5-minute match. And he actually thought Natalya was going to beat Doudrop? Come on. And Doudrop is definitely going to beat. Or Doudrop versus Shayna tonight. Alright? So I still have Shayna, but I don't know if this Naomi's going to cost Shayna or whatever. Because Natalya's still been drafted to SmackDown. But also, here's the thing. Also, when I'm ranting on the women's division, SmackDown, I can't think of the roster. Who's the roster? Zella Lee, Shayna Baszler, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Shotzi Blackheart, Toni Storm, Zelina Vega, and Carmella. No. I know there are a lot of Dana Brooke stands out there. It's just very small. And who on that roster is going to be the babyface of the future? Let me go through the roster. I don't have it right here. We got by Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Shayna Baszler, Toni Storm, Azalea Lee, B-Fab, and Shotzi Blackheart. Tell me who in that brand is the baby face that you can see dethroning Shayna Baszler, Sasha Banks, or Charlotte Flair if they ever become champion. Most likely one, B-Fab. Oh my gosh, she's not good in the ring. Don't have her in the ring yet. She needs to still work on her stuff. Who? They got to build up somebody on SmackDown, right? Right? Because they took their stars, Bianca Belair to Raw and Becky Lynch to Raw. Who's gonna be the one on SmackDown on the babyface side? It's puzzling me. On the Raw woman's side, look at the roster. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair. Maybe Naomi. Naomi's a possibility, but it's just, yeah, that's a possibility. Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Nikki Cross, or Nikki SH. Alexa Bliss when she comes back. I don't know who else. Dana Brooke is still on it, right? Tegan Knox. And on the Raw side, I'm not thinking face or heel side. Where SmackDown I was. That's a pretty damn good roster for the women's side. There's a lot of women there you can see dethroning possibly whoever becomes Raw Women's Champion. Becky Lynch or Bianca Belair. A lot of them. You got Rhea Ripley could probably do it. Maybe Alexa Bliss. Raw side and Doudrop's on that side. And that's what I think when Bayley comes back. I think she's going to SmackDown. And then And then I'm gonna talk on the tag team side. Who the fuck is Rhea Ripley and Nikki gonna face on the tag team side for women's tag team titles when it broke up Natalya and Tamina, and they broke up Tegan Nox and Shotzi Black? Who are they gonna face? They're gonna, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna throw in more random tag teams, women tag teams. Oh, is there a video? I gotta see this. Show me a video. I want show me in the DMs on a tweet for me, because maybe I could share this. If you could share it on DMs or on Twitter, I could show it. Yeah, they're gonna create new tag teams. I know. But here's a funny thing. Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart, didn't they have like 3 number 1 contender matches and they won them all and never got a tag team title shot? I know their main focus is on the Bianca Belair, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch stuff, but they really have to focus on the other women's stuff too, especially the tag team titles. And I know I'm interested to see what Rhea Ripley is gonna be like in her gear. Okay, gear and stuff. Cause I don't know if she's gonna have Rhea Ripley has apparently lost her ring gear in the Raw Women's tag team titles. But it's terrible. It's terrible to hear about that. She had to wear on a house show. I think it's El Paso. I think it was the same. No, I don't know if it's El Paso. I think she was there. Yeah, it was that same show. She had to wear Damian Priest's pants. I agree there. I didn't see Nox and Shotzi work as a tag team either. I did. But they still should have got a title shot because they earned it, because they did win number 1 contender matches. Also, I gotta, no disrespect to okay. Mandy Rose. This is not directed to Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan, or the other woman. This is not directed at her. I know they'll lose. They'll just lose. But at least have a match. Give them a match. This is more directed to Mandy Rose. That promo last week, I'm sorry. When he said it doesn't matter what color hair color I have, red, blonde, brown, brunette, purple, blue, whatever, green, and say I'm still the baddest bitch around. Mandy, you were never a baddest bitch ever in wrestling, in NXT or the main roster. You were never the baddest bitch. Nobody saw you as a badass bitch. The fans are not stupid. You were never the bad. You barely use it NXT, and you were never a badass bitch. On the main roster, you're mostly jobbed out. You were never the baddest bitch. There, you were never the baddest bitch. Period. Never. Tell me one instance when Mandy was a bad bitch. But the only time she's the baddest bitch was probably when she beat Sonya Deville at SummerSlam. But other than that, she was never won any time she was really make you think that she's the baddest bitch in NXT. I'm sorry, but I think the baddest bitch in NXT was probably like Shayna Baszler, because she was a bitch, or something like that. I don't know. But Mandy was never. Enosh does like wrestling, yes, but Mandy was never the baddest bitch on the main roster or NXT. If she wants to prove she's a badass bitch, beat Raquel Gonzalez at Halloween Havoc. And I know some people are thinking that's gonna happen, and God no. But she was never the baddest bitch, period. Yeah, and Dana Brooke ties O'Neil over, yeah. And if I was a female wrestler in a promo, and I heard Mandy Rose saying, if I was a female wrestler or a male wrestler in a promo, oh Mandy, yeah, I think there's a possibility that's happening. If I was Raquel Gonzalez to Mandy Rose, I would say, it may sound like a burial, burial, which usually is not a good thing, but it's an honest burial, I'll just say to her, you were never the baddest bitch on the main roster or NXT. And the proof is there. And the fans know it's true. I'll just say that. If I had to write my lines, I'll just say it, come back to Mandy Rose and say, you were never the baddest bitch. And there's evidence to support that. You were never the baddest bitch. Never. Never won a title. Never had any meaningful matches. Never the baddest bitch. And of Asuka's matches when she had the title, I know she had some chemistry issues with Rhea Ripley, but if all the title matches Asuka had her worst title match. Okay, Asuka's possibly up. Asuka and Shayna are probably up there. Yeah, for sure. Those two for sure. All the title matches Asuka had when she was a champion, I think her worst title match was probably against Mandy Rose at 2019 Fastlane. Remember that when Sonya Deville actually cost her the match when she lifted up the apron? That's one of the. Remember that? I think that might be the Asuka's worst title defense. I don't know. So, like this thing about how she was a badass bitch. You never were the badass bitch, and there's videos to support that on YouTube, on WWE Network, on Peacock, that has everything to back up proof that you were never the badass bitch because you never won a title. You're never in it. The only meaningful feud you had was with Sonya Deville, and guess what? Sonya Deville was never the badass bitch either. And she's actually getting more use, despite us. I know Josh doesn't like her, I know Nate doesn't like her, but despite that, she hasn't won a title on the main roster. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, this is not against women. It's just against WWE Creative and WWE Creative ignoring the facts. Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that. That was still. Is this? I don't like when WWE ignores the facts with stuff. Ignores that kind of stuff. Like if I had to come back to her and say, "You're never the baddest bitch." I would say you're never the baddest bitch. That's why you had to come down here. And that's burying NXT, but I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for that rant. And brief wrestling week review. I'm not gonna go over Raw because Raw was very, very bad. Raw was bad last week. We gotta agree Raw was bad, right? Raw was terrible last week. It was after a string of very good, solid shows. Raw was just. Harsh words is facts, man. Sometimes harsh words could be facts. Oh, Wall was bad. Trust me, Wall was terrible, Josh. I know you saw Venom. Smart choice. Tuesday NXT actually wasn't that bad. Joe Gacy and Tommaso Ciampa had a solid opening match. We'll see what Gunnar Hogan, whatever his name is, Parker Barrow. We'll see how this goes. What was the women's stuff on that show? I forget. We're gonna Halloween. I don't know what else happened. Oh yeah. Yes, I did see Venom too. Yes, I did. Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa are gonna face Young Grizzled Veterans next week. Oh, actually tomorrow. I did see Venom. I did like it. I really don't know. Like NXT. I'm sorry, my memory is usually bad. Oh, okay. What else? Halloween Havoc. I know I saw that. Halloween Havoc. We're gonna have Mandy Rose with Cal Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Championship. It's the wheel. They're gonna have the spin the wheel thing like last year to determine what type of match it is. The women's tag team titles are on the line with Io Shirai, Zoe Stark versus Persia. What's her? I can't say her last name. And Indy Hartwell. They're actual best friends from Australia and stuff. It's legit, and they're playing it on TV, obviously. And against Toxic Attraction, JC James. Is that her name? JC James. And Gigi Dolan, Priscilla Kelly. Braun Breaker versus Tommaso Ciampa, obviously. I did like SmackDown too, yeah. And Friday we got SmackDown. I'm gonna go briefly through it. And the ending was a great contract sign. I know they had a rush because it's commercial free. I remember after the women's match, you saw Adam Pearce like, hurry. He's like, hurry, get it, hurry. And he said Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, whatever. Like, okay, we have to hurry. And the camera crew and all that, the production crew had to hurry to get ready for the segment because they were running out of time. And I bet you that segment had to. What do you mean the class of? No, Josh. They're actual best friends. Yeah. They're real best friends in life. They're actual real best friends. In real life, they're best friends. Oh, I think it's. What do you mean class of? What else? I thought the women's match was good between Sasha and Becky Lynch. That's the first time Becky Lynch lost by pinfall like in 2 years. Well, she was away for like a year and a half, but what else is there? Sami Zayn lost to Finn Balor, right? Okay, and Zelina Vega beat Carmella. The story kind of makes sense here with Liv Morgan costing Carmella the match. Yeah, you can say it's a short match, but the story kind of makes sense here. I know. Oh yeah, he put the buy-in to compete with the hour of Raw, or the hour of SmackDown, right? He put the buy-in. Yeah, I know. But Josh, you see, the thing is, he doesn't really run it. I think Kenny Omega I don't think he really takes control of women's wrestling in the AEW. And what was I gonna say? Rampage. I forgot Rampage. AEW Dynamite. Oh, I'm sorry, but the reason I didn't stream AEW Dynamite, I was going to. The reason I didn't is because I forgot it was on I forgot it was on Saturday. Well, it's bullshit. It can be a draw if you have the right people. The reason I didn't stream AEW Rampage Dynamite is because I missed about half an hour of it. Because I forgot it was on Saturday. All week last week I was saying it was on Saturday, and I forgot for the first 30 minutes it was on Saturday. What else? We're getting an elimination tournament, right? For who's gonna be the next number one contender for AEW's title after Hangman Page and Omega. It's gonna be at Full Gear, that match, obviously. In the finals of the tournament, you happen at Full Gear. Moxie's in it. Bryan Danielson is in it. Some guys are in it. Lance Archer. I think Eddie Kingston. What was the women's match? Oh, women's match is Penelope Ford versus Ruby Riott, or Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho beat Penelope Ford. She got revenge on Penelope Ford because on Rampage, Penelope Ford and Bunny took out would be so when Penelope Ford hit her with the brass knuckles. You think it's setting up with Bryan Danielson versus Moxley? It might be setting up with Bryan Danielson versus Moxley. Bryan Danielson had a good match with Bobby Fish. That's about it. You know, Shida attacks Serena Deeb. Britt Baker confronted Anna Jay. You had a little fight. Yeah, Kiera Hogan's getting buried on that. Yeah. She's kind of getting buried here. That's about it. Yeah, that's my Wrestling Week review. I'm gonna do a Raw preview. Oh, some other news. Other news, some wrestling news, okay? So, Karrion Kross is going to get a change according to WrestleVotes. Oh, Mickie James, yeah. I the only thing you know what? Bound for Glory, I think the only thing I'm looking for is Mickie James versus Deonna Purrazzo. Karrion Kross might be getting a little bit of a change. No Scarlett, but it's going to get a change. He's no Scarlett, new music and stuff. They're going to rebrand Karrion Kross. No TLC pay-per-view in December. December is going to have no pay-per-view. That's because we're going to have 2 pay-per-views in January. One on the 1st of January, on New Year's Day. So the 1st of January. And the Royal Rumble, obviously. So 2 pay-per-views in January. So no pay-per-view in December. TLC's been cancelled. And in January is scheduled for a Raw Retro review show. So in January we're going to have a Raw, but it's going to be Retro Raw. It's going to be like some of the past Raw Retro shows. And I do have a streaming schedule before I end the show. Okay, if you haven't noticed, I posted stuff in my Twitter and also in the DMs. Okay, so tomorrow, NXT live stream, right? NXT watch along. Wednesday, I don't know yet. There's no AEW this Wednesday. It's been moved to Saturday again. Thursday, I'm gonna try to do a watch along for Crown Jewel because it's on Thursdays this week. Friday, SmackDown watch along. Saturday, I'm gonna try to do AEW watch along and other stuff. And then yeah, okay. But also, starting Thursdays next week, I'm gonna have streams, but they're not gonna be wrestling related. They're gonna be on anything. I come up with, it could be wrestling. Who knows? It could be comic book related. It could be Marvel, DC. It could be video games, food, sports, whatever. And you're all welcome to join, of course. It's going to be more free. And I think Saturdays after this Saturday, because Dad might watch along, I'm going to start going back to my sports show in the afternoon because I do watch sports at night. And of course, look out for random streams and videos. And that's my show, guys. A little bit of a longer show today, huh? An hour and 10 minutes. But yeah, thanks for listening in. Thanks for everybody coming in. Saggy, Josh, Nate, Anchorman, everybody. I'm just gonna leave you guys with this.
I don't care. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
I won't even.
Have you noticed when Rusev said that? Liv Morgan licked her lips like that? Licked her lips? Miro Rusev. But yeah, I love that guy's YouTube. Go check out that guy's YouTube. It's funny. Yeah. So NXT tomorrow. Wednesdays, I don't know. I might not do anything. Wednesday might upload stuff. Thursday, Saudi Arabia show, Crown Jewel. Friday, SmackDown watch along. Saturday, AEW watch along. And Sundays, I don't know if I'm gonna do Sundays. Monday, this show again. Tuesday, NXT. And next Wednesday, AEW. And Thursday, non-wrestling stuff. It could be wrestling, but it's gonna be a lot more stuff. Anything. It could be comic related, video game related, whatever. Stuffing. You know me because I don't like to talk always about wrestling. Friday, SmackDown. And Saturday's my sports show. Oh! And I might do Wrestler Spotlights on Saturdays, too. I might, depending. On this Saturday, Wrestler Spotlight's coming back. Remember, I am doing Wrestler Spotlight. Episode 4, Sasha Banks, the boss. This Saturday, 5 p.m. I almost forgot. But yeah, thanks guys for listening. This is what I think about you guys.
Too sweet. Sweet. Too sweet. Too sweet.
So with that, thanks for listening. Subscribe, share, tell your friends, and I don't know, my CM Punk shirt, and try. I'm not gonna wear a shirt when I eat. I don't want to get it dirty because it's a white shirt. I think they're the worst shirts to wear when you get dirty. But with that, guys, like, share, subscribe. I know I said it just a second ago. Comment below. Watch the replay if you can, and enjoy Raw if you can. Enjoy NXT. Enjoy Crown Jewel. Enjoy SmackDown. Enjoy Rampage. Enjoy Dynamite. Try to enjoy the best. Try to enjoy the best you can. With that, AWO, the Air Order is out.